very interesting model, right? Sometimes you need to generate some random values or random variables, maybe for testing purpose. I will show you. There is a company, I'm not able to recall its name. That company is based on fake data. They generate simulated of fake data, so that data can be used for testing purpose or some other purpose. So sometimes you need some dummy data. For that you can use this module random. You can generate few things randomly, like for example random.random. It will generate a random float value, right? Let me show you how we can do this, right? Great. Okay, first we need to import the random, right? Random. Now if I want to generate any float value randomly, right, random.random, it will give a float value between 0 and 1, right? Let's run this. Python random example.py. You can see the random value 0.79. Each time when you run, you will get a different value. See, each time when you run, you will get a different value between 0 and 1. Okay, each time when I'm running, you are seeing a different value. So this is the power of random value. Right now I'm generating only single value. If you want to generate 100 value, you can create a list, right? List float, right? A list which has float values, and this is empty. I am running for loop for I in range 100. I am running this 100 times, and each time I will generate a value. And what I will do is I have list float dot append. I will append those value here. Okay, and after appending, I can print this. List float, list underscore float. Right now it will run 100 times. You can see all the values are into a single list. So these values you might need, but you will say I need integer. I don't need the float values, right? So you can write here float values, right? Generate float values, right? Float, right? Generate float values. Now in your case, for example, maybe you are playing Ludo and you are using a dice, right? So dice value between 1 to 6, right? And you want to make this game Ludo, right? So you want to generate this value randomly. How you can generate? You can use the random function. So in this we have random.rand int, right? It will generate a random value between I need between 1 to 6, right? Let's see what is coming. I am creating again a number list. Sorry, here I have to type number list. This is empty. This will helpful when you do probability operations, right? So this is a dummy list. Again, I am running this 100 times. See how it is working, right? And here num list dot append. I will append this, right? This function rand int, right? The name of the function is rand int. Control S, right? Let's run this. Okay, sorry, append. I'm using append, spelling mistake. If you run this, then you can see. Okay, I'm not printing this. Let me print this now. Sorry, print is already done. Num list. You can see 1 4 6 4 2 3 5 100 times I am running my this loop. Every time I'm running this and I am getting a random value. It means I'm playing a Ludo and I played 100 chances. Every time I'm playing a chance and it is generating a random value. So these kind of things will helpful when you do random operations, right? Let me show you another example, right? So you can see random, randint. I will show you others also, just wait. Let me show you one interesting example, right, that we did right now. Dice rolling simulator. We have just built a dice rolling simulator. We are just trying to roll our dice and we are getting a value, right? There is another example, let me show you. Simulating a lottery random selection of a winner. Suppose these are 5 names: Ajay, Bunny, Chandan, Deepak, Ekta, and I want to select a random item. Or maybe I'm playing cards like S, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Playing cards I'm using, right? So I want to select any of this random. Then I will use function random.choice. Out of these items, it will randomly pick one item, right? So that's how this random will also work. This is used to select a random item from a list. So suppose, let me try this, right? We tried this, now let me try for, suppose we have a list, suppose we are using cards, right? We are playing rummy or some other game, right? S, right? Then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, right? And so on, then 5, then 6, then 7, right? Then 8, then 9, okay, then 10, then you have jack. I don't know in English what they call jack, right? In Hindi we call it this gulam begum basha, right? Queen and king, right? I think king, we call this king. Yeah, king. Yeah, we usually play in Hindi, right? So, right. Okay, now if you want to select randomly, right? So I'm writing into print, so that because I want to print the output, right? And I'm commenting these prints, right? Because I just want to show you this. So random.choice, it will do choice between these items, right? Okay, random.choice from this cards, right? Let me run this. You can see it is randomly selected 9, right? Let me clear this. Sorry, randomly selected 3, 9, 8, 3, 6, 9, 1, king. So it will randomly distribute the items, right? So these kind of function like random.choice, selecting item from a list, it will select randomly, right? You can also run your for loop and see. And similarly, if you see this randint is generating integer value, random is generating a float value between 0 and 1. So these kind of operations will be helpful when you do when you try to build some project in that you need some random value. You need a value which is not inspired by some point or someone, right? Now there is one important concept, right, which is seed value, right? I hope if you studied in C++, I hope you are aware of seed value. So seed value controls your output. If in each iteration you want same type of output or repeatable output, right, in that particular case you use seed value, right? In machine learning, when we use data, then we shuffle the data for training and testing. In this shuffling we use we want same sequence every time. Same records will be into training data set, same record will be into testing data set. In those particular case we also use seed value. So seed value will keep your sequence or keep your sequence of repeated items. So items were generated based on this X value. So let me show you some example, right? How I will show you, right? Okay, let me comment first this. So I need to say, set a seed value, that's it, right? So what we can do is random.seed, any value you can keep. Suppose I'm keeping 1 2 3, right? Now when I will use this random value, random int, right? Okay, let me use this one. I'm using this code, right? And again I will generate the same. My seed value is same, right? And I will print here this list. This is before and this is after. I'm doing this 2 times, right? After. Okay, control S. Let me do clear here. You can see same sequence 1 3 1 1 3 1 4 1 4 3 1, then you can see 4 3 1 1 4 5 1 4 5, same sequence. You can see both are same. If you are not able to compare this, let me show you another way. Just a second. After I need one space so that it will align with this. Instead of 100, do this 50 times, right? So it will show you in a 50 times, right? I'm doing 500 times, 50 times only. So less. Now let me run this again. Now you can see all the items are same. So seed value will, if you change the seed value, right? Now let me run this, you will get different items. So seed value is help you to generate the repeated value every time. In some cases you need, for example in machine learning, when you do shuffling of your data set, then or records into training and as data set, at that time you use. This is one use case, right? There is one more function, I think, shuffle. Is there shuffle? Yeah, you can see shuffle. Shuffle is used to do a shuffle item of list, right? So how you can do this? Suppose this is your list, right? So try like this. Print random.shuffle. Suppose you are playing card and you want to shuffle, right? You want to shuffle these cards, right? Okay, one more parenthesis I need. Now you can see none. Why? Okay, I did this shuffle. Okay, and I am printing here cards. It is returning none, but it is doing change in exact list, right? So if I let me comment this, right? So it will show you in a good way, right? Clear. You can see it shuffled, right? Again, why? Because seed value is same. Okay, seed value, I have given this seed value. Stop the seed value. I am not giving any seed value. Now every time you will see, you will get a different, right? It is shuffling in a different sequence, right? So this shuffling will also help you when you write your logic into, when you try to create some games, right? And also if you want to take some sample, if you want to take 4 out of this, how you can do this? There is function named sample, random dot sample. Okay, you can see here iterable first and our k, right? So suppose k, it will take sequence and k item. So okay, so let me do this. Sample sequence is my cards. I want any 2 cards out of those, right? A sample if I want. Okay, right? You can see 10 and jack, 2 sample card it will show. Every time when you do this, it will show you the 2 sample card which is randomly selected sample. This sampling will also help you, right? Suppose you have huge data, you can't use whole data set, then you can use a sample one. For example, when I was working with movie recommender system, initially we have data of approx 2-3 GB, but 2-3 GB data is not able to run the algorithm in my system. So I have taken only 500 MB file. I reduced number of record and then I did high operations. So sometimes this sampling function will help you. Instead of taking the whole data set, you can take just sample out of that, right? So this is a basically statistical technique, also sampling technique. So this is one function that you can try at some places where you need this. Okay, and what else? Seed we tried, sample, shuffle we tried, choice. Yeah, here one more thing is, in with using choice we are selecting only single value. If you want to select more than two, then you can use choices, right? For example, let me show you here. I am using choices and I want 3 items instead of 1, right? Let me run this now. Okay, argument k equals to 3. The number of choices must be k equals to 3. Let me check the syntax. Sequence k equals to 3. So I need to write like this. What choices must be keyword argument k equals to 3. Type error. Okay, k equals to 3. Let me see. Yeah, I need to write like this. It's a keyword argument, maybe, right? So you can see here 3 items are randomly selected instead of 1, right? So these are the methods that will help you when you try to create your own game, or when you will try to deal with some kind of random operation. You will need some random data, you want to select things randomly. In that particular case you will use this module.